What's up? It's your boy GMB Miguel, and we back with another lit video. Today, I'm going to be giving you my top 3 picks for an EDC. It might differ for everybody, but for me personally, this is what I feel like would be the best bet. And it's also what, works for me comfortably. You know what I mean? And especially because we all have different body types. Some people might not be as slender as others, and some might be a lot bulkier than others. Really just depends on, like, body type, how much you perspirate, and, a lot of other circumstantial factors. But these are my top 3. Like I said, they might be different from yours. And what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. But it is what it is. And I just want to take this time to let you know what my top 3 are. So here, what we have first, empty magazine, right? We got the P365 X macro. You can see it's unloaded, right? Yeah, this right here would be my number 3, right? Talk about concealable, real slim and slender. She's got a night sight right there, and throw on a weapons light, optic ready, and right out the box, she's ready to go. You know what I mean? You don't really have to do too much to her. You know what I mean? Just nice holster, right? Boom. Just super concealable. If you're wearing loose fitting clothing, or you're wearing a little bit more, baggy stuff, this right here, can't go wrong with that. So again, top 3, right? This would be 3rd. Safety. Again, P365 X macro with the comp, you know what I mean? Night sights, optic ready, flashlight rail, boom, right? Reliability, with any gun, you got to get out to the range, train. Make sure that your gun's not gonna malfunction when you really need to use it. So, like with anything, you just gotta really practice, because at the end of the day, you don't want this gun to fail you. So, yeah. So that would be my little baby, that's in the 3rd spot. Let me go ahead and put the empty magazine. Go ahead and put her back in her box. Keep her real safe. All right. So, 2nd, right? Have to be a Kimber, right? Revolver. And yeah, like I said, this is the Kimber K6XS carry. This is basically 38 special plus P, right? Right there, right? She is a 6 shooter, so at the end of the day, she is unloaded, right? At the end of the day, this right here gotta be in rotation, gotta be, you know, fits good in the hand, you know. She is hammerless, so she has an internal hammer. Basically, she's real light, and I mean, look, you can't. She's got an orange little dot right there, and you can't really go wrong with a revolver. Yeah, you lose a little bit of capacity, but real concealable. Holster in your pants. Nobody would ever know that you're carrying this. Or if you want like an ankle holster, or maybe even just a backup for your everyday carry. You know what I mean? Just in case you get into one of them tricky situations where you actually, you know, all I know is if you have something with 17 shots in it and you miss all 17 shots, you gotta go back to the motherfucking range and practice some more, because ain't no way you should be getting a secondary when, you know what I mean, we're in the state of California, gay, but in other states, you know, people got way more, they have larger mag capacities, and yeah, I mean, I feel like if you can't neutralize somebody's hostile actions, you know, where they're trying to cause great bodily injury or death to you within 5 to 10 shots, you gotta put it up. You gotta hang it up, man. You know, especially, you don't want to hit, you know, Susie and the kids out there. It's not doable. So, but this right here, this Kimber, this definitely in rotation, you know. She's real concealable. She's not that big, you know. And she hides. She hides flush. I mean, look at compared to that size. You know what I mean? They're both pretty much identical, you know? Look. See? That revolver has a lot of a, you know, thinner frame. Look, just look at that. So, you know, for me, not for you, for me personally, you know, number 2, just because, you know, concealability and reliability and, you know, basically ammo's cheap for her. You know what I mean? I mean, depending on what you're basing it off of, you know, but again, give it a nice little spin. 6 shooter, but hey, she get the job done. And again, what works for me might not work for you. It is what it is. So that's 38 special plus P, 357, right? So P365X macro, 9 mil, And again, you know, I'm gonna have to give it to the you know, number one spot, because this is reliable. You know, she's a Miss Get the Job Done. She might not be the fanciest, but she pretty. And again, reason I put this one in the number one spot, just basically reliability, you know, reliability, capacity, and, you know, just good old iron sights. You know what I mean? Get out to the range, practice, practice, practice. Make sure your shots are on target. Make sure, you know, your sights are lined up good. You know, it's either this 19 or a 23, but I mean they have the same size. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I would do the 26, but I just don't like the frame. You know what I mean? The frame really gets me. Yeah, they have like, you know, pinky extenders and all that. You know what I mean? But this just off the dribble, it's already good. Like, just fits good in the hand. You know, you can't really complain. Like I said, the reason I give this one the number one spot, right, is because capacity, right? 17, you know, extenders, everything, all that. Capacity is the biggest thing. This right here, it does drop it down a little bit because for my slender fellas, this right here, you ain't got to worry about this, you know, hitting your belly or anything like that. For me, it is a little bit harder, you know what I mean, to conceal this. That's why if I it just it's all about what I'm doing or where I'm going. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be somewhere where I'm sitting a lot and you know, like standing around or sitting a lot and not standing around a lot, then you know, I'd opt for one of the other smaller ones. Just cause, you know, I don't want it cutting in my gut and, you know, especially if I'm sweating on it, you know, just rather avoid that. But if I'm gonna be doing a lot of standing or I'm doing a lot of walking or, you know, a lot, not to mention, you know, like off body carrying, you know, pouch or boom, you know, put it on your bag, go, boom. At the end of the day, this has been proven. It's been in the, you know, use of military, police departments, you know, armed security guards, you know, all different type of use for this firearm right here. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, what works for me, works for me. What works for me might not work for you. It is what it is. But yeah. So again, those are my top three, right? So we got the Kimber 357 38 special. We got the Glock 19 9 mil, and we got the Sig X macro with the comp. These are the three in rotation. You know what I mean? Like I said, what works for me it might not work for you. It is what it is. But just like that, you know, I appreciate you for watching these videos. If you could go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, let me know what you carry personally. What kind of rounds you carry? You know what I mean? What's in your top three rotation? You know what I mean? I want to hear that. Let me know. You know, give me some good feedback on why you carry it, what you use, and why you trust it with your life. Why you rely on that. You know what I mean? But yeah, just like that. I appreciate you. Peace. Stay strapped or get clapped.